In this class, as I sent you an email, we'll be discussing the basics of HTML. So before jumping into the basics of HTML, I'll say the outline of this course. So I have prepared a document for this. Can you see the screen? Cool. So this is the overall course at Tutoslive, like what we'll be learning. So we'll be learning HTML, okay, which is mostly static pages, basic tags. Then we'll be learning styling of those the web page, like how do we make websites very beautiful. Then comes the JavaScript part, like how do we make client-side logic work? Like there will be small logic which can be done on the client side, which is not harmful. So we'll be learning that using JavaScript. And there is jQuery. jQuery is nothing but, again, it's a framework of JavaScript. It's on top of JavaScript. It makes JavaScript easier to execute. So we'll be learning about jQuery too. Then that's it. Until here, we are done with the client-side logics. Like we are up to here. Let me write that here. So I'll write it here actually. So HTML, if you know HTML, then we are good with static pages. Like we can build a full-fledged website using just HTML tags. That's it. Then comes the CSS part. If you know CSS, then we can make those static pages beautiful, or say add some styling to it. Like CSS is nothing but the name itself says. I'm gonna write the full form, the acronym. Cascading. What happened? I did pressed insert, I guess. Let me write again. HTML. So this static pages. Then CSS is cascading style sheets. Like it's nothing but a combination, a collection of style sheets. When we put the styling of our web pages, and that will be applied to the tags which we write in HTML. So this is like apply styles to those static pages. Then the JavaScript. So this is not like some client-side logic. Logic, like as I discussed yesterday, like your PHP is a server-side scripting language where we used to write some business logic. So like such, JavaScript is a client-side scripting language where when we use JavaScript, like since I say why do we use JavaScript? Like essentially we have a server-side scripting language. Why do we use JavaScript on the client side? Because you see, PHP is to be converted. It is understood only by the server to get converted. So if I write the whole logic in PHP, which is not necessary to be written in PHP, which eats at the server time or server resources. So I don't want to write it in PHP. So instead I'll use, like, for small client-side scripting, I go with JavaScript. And JavaScript is a powerful language, as we spoke yesterday. Like these days JavaScript is like getting more attention than like even PHP, more than PHP, I say. So then jQuery, I told you it's a framework which makes using JavaScript easy. Like for instance, say I assume, like if you know about framework is nothing but a it's a library. Like they write all the code into a library, and we can use, like, instead of writing say 4 lines of JavaScript code, using one jQuery line of code, we can execute the same kind of logic. So that's why we use jQuery, which makes JavaScript easier to execute. So this up to here, yeah, we are good to go for, I say, designing web pages. So again, designing in sense like writing HTML code. There is other part of designing which is uh, not exactly not to be reused. Yeah, reusability concept is there, but you're talking about jQuery, I assume. So jQuery is like write the logic, JavaScript logic, but you'll be knowing it once when we go to JavaScript. I can't like explicitly explain that here, assuming like if yeah, it will be more technical. So like as if you go, so we'll be knowing it. So yeah, coming here, we are good to go for designing the web page, like static web pages. Again, there are two aspects of designing. One is they call Photoshop templates. This is a different concept. Like somebody who is very good at Photoshop will be giving the layouts. Like this is how a website should look like. So ultimately, a web designer. I call this guy as a designer because a graphic designer. Oh, I guess what happened to this? There is some problem with my keyboard. Let me type it from the start. So he is a graphic designer. What he basically does is he designs logos and layouts of web pages. Now these layouts are called PSD templates. Then our web designer. So when we are done with this part, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery part, then we are called as web designers or front end designers. So we'll be converting those PSDs into web pages. Let's say static web pages. Then comes the server side part, like here. Then we are done with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery. Then we go to PHP. We jump into PHP. PHP is a server side scripting language to write some business logic into it. So then we'll be learning PHP. It's more like basics of PHP, like how do we write simple logic. Then comes MySQL. MySQL is nothing but a database server. We'll be using MySQL database here. So MySQL is a database. Then we learn about using MySQL with PHP. Like as I said yesterday, like if there is some data to be stored in database or some data to be pulled from database, we need an interface between this MySQL and our application. So that is PHP. So we use PHP to fetch that data and insert the data, delete data, update data. So we use PHP for that. That is PHP with MySQL. Then comes advanced PHP concept, like I won't be talking about advanced PHP as of now, so we'll be learning advanced PHP. Then Ajax, this is another concept. It's a whole a different concept out of these topics, but still it's predominantly used nowadays. Like yeah, we'll be talking about Ajax too. Then we'll be talking like where should we go from here, like and meanwhile we'll be doing a project based on these concepts. Like as soon as we will be learning this concept, we'll be doing a application or website of our own. Like if you have your own idea, or if you want to build your portfolio, or if you want to build a website or application for yourself, yeah, we'll go ahead with that. Or I'll give you a project saying any project. So the course is more like project oriented. So as soon as we are learning a concept, we'll be applying it into the project. So yeah, these are the topics we'll be learning in Tutoslive. Excuse me.